Welcome to the Thundercloud Platinum Wrench. My response to your comment of this better be good is, when is it not good, Sage? It's always an A plus plus performance, and quite frankly, shut your fucking mouth and stop talking. I will find a way to get rid of you, and I will find a moderator who is capable of showing me the respect that I am due. Do you understand what I'm saying, sir? Thank you for keeping your mouth shut there. I really do appreciate it. That's good. That's good work by you, Wrench. Fucking, we're gonna start calling the Platinum Wrench. The Platinum Wrench can start being called the Team Bitch. That's what the Platinum Wrench really stands for. It's the Team fucking Bitch. Anyways, Sage, I know you asked me on Discord, do we have to stream tonight? Yeah, absolutely we do. Because we're following up on last night's reports of the Blue Jays being interested in Framber Valdez. And what did I say last night? I said it was poppycock. I said it was a bunch of malarkey. I said it was fake news. I said make Canada great again. And guess what? I was right. Framber Valdez was never coming to the Blue Jays. We were merely jacking his price up so the Detroit Tigers had to pay more. And guess what? It fucking worked. Pay up they did. So the Tigers, who don't really want to pay, I don't know, Tariq Skubal what he's owed in arbitration. The arbitration will come out tomorrow. We won't really get into that a whole lot. They do have Tariq Skubal, and they're wanting to pay him $19 million a year, and Tariq Skubal wants $32 million, so they're $13 million apart, the biggest in MLB history for an arbitration. And then they go and sign Framber Valdez to a 3-year, $115 million deal, which is just astounding, honestly. $38.33 million per year kind of makes the Jays signing of Dylan Cease look a lot better, which was a 7-year, $210 million deal. Makes it look a little cheaper. Now, I just want to read through the details of the signing real quick. So obviously it is a short-term deal. There is an opt-out not after this year, but the year after. This could mean that there is a trade because, you're obviously going to have Tariq Skubal, Framber Valdez, Jack Flaherty, Casey Mize, Reese Olson as guys that are going to be locked into the rotation, barring a trade. The other thing, though, is apparently Troy Melton and Drew Anderson are guys to be considering in the rotation. So perhaps they trade one of their pitchers for an offensive player, which would make sense. Sticking with Detroit, let's just kind of look at their Fangraph projections. It looks like their bullpen is just okay, needs some work. Offensively, they probably could use another bat, but they're not terrible. Last year, they were a plus 67 run differential. They were terrible in the second half, but they did almost knock the Mariners out in a 5-game ALDS series, which went many, many innings before the Mariners went on to play us and almost beat us as well. So they had a great year last year. They're going to have a hell of a rotation, I'll tell you that. Tariq Skubal and Framber Valdez as your 1-2. It really doesn't get much better than that. Obviously, I think these projections are a bit light in what the pitchers probably will do. They're always conservative. But you've got right now Fangraphs projecting Tariq Skubal for a 2.67 ERA and a 6.3 WAR. I think he'll certainly pitch better than that. You've got Framber Valdez at a 3.43 ERA, 3.6 WAR. And then to round out the rotation, you got Jack Flaherty being projected for a 4.02 ERA, Casey Mize for a 4.06, and then Reese Olson for a 3.90 ERA. So all told, you're talking about a rotation that's very good. And I don't know about the other two guys that were listed on Roto World that are kind of on the outside looking in, if they do have to pitch. But it looks like the Tigers are going to be one of the teams in the Central to beat this year, and they're probably going to be a tough out. So good on the Tigers for getting that done and not letting the Yankees or Orioles take care of it. It was more the Orioles I was worried about. So the Orioles are not getting him. I believe there's one pitcher left on the market who's a top arm, that being Zach Gallen. I would expect him to get signed in the coming days. I would expect him to get signed in the coming days. And I would expect him to get signed in the coming days. Just write that down as a little soundbite, Sage, because you know what's going to happen tomorrow? I'm going to be fucking right. And that's why I wanted to say it 3 fucking times. Don't worry, your stream wasn't buffering. Your stream wasn't buffering. That was just me doing my thing. Okay? So, yeah, I look for Zach Gallen to be gone here in a couple of days, like I just said 3 times prior. Other news in the baseball world, you've got Miguel Andujar signing with the Padres. It's not a real big signing. You got the guy that cost us the World Series, IKF, signing with the Boston Red Sox, so we'll have to see his ugly face 21 times per fucking year. You got Mike Clevenger signing a minor league deal with the Pirates. I like that. Good guy to buy low on, and I actually think that move will pan for them. And then you got Austin Mays going to the White Sox, slightly above average as a hitter in the outfield, and not a bad pickup there for the Pirates. Looks like the Pirates are interested in, or they were interested in Marcell Ozuna. I don't think that they would be after Austin Hayes, but again, But again, if it's just strictly as a DH, then maybe Ozuna does go there and does add a little bit of thump to their lineup. So that's it for baseball. I don't know what has happened in the world of football today. I suspect nothing. I do see that we do have a trade in the NBA that's taken place, at least a couple trades. Jay Glazer is reporting what I reported yesterday, saying that he believes that Max Crosby's time with the Oakland Raiders is done. I actually reported that before him, and he was on the Thunder crowd scouting things out, and he stole my fucking ideas. So I want him to send a tweet, giving me credit. If he's going to take my fucking information and he's going to roll with it, he needs to give me credit. That's the way this shit works. I gave Sage credit the other night. Did I not, Sage? I gave Sage credit the other night. So I think there was a trade today. I think Anthony Davis went to the Washington Wizards. And the other thing there, Chris Paul got traded to the Raptors. We gave up a second and an asset to get our money under. He's not actually invited to play for the Raptors. And he'll probably just get traded and flipped for like a second rounder or some bullshit there. Kind of a bullshit trade. But this is kind of a big trade here. You got a couple more trades actually, so we're gonna have to stick with the NBA just a little bit longer. You got the Warriors trading Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield to the Atlanta Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis. Interesting trade. I kind of like the trade more for the Hawks than I do the Golden State Warriors, if I'm being honest. Looks like the Raptors did make another trade. They have picked up Trace Jackson Davis from the Warriors for a second-round pick via the Lakers. So, he can't be that good of a player. What does he do? So he's not a fantasy player. Looks like he's just going to be a backup forward for the Raptors. So nothing to see here would be my guess. Now, Sage, like Martin Luther King, I had a dream. I had a dream this morning, and I did tell you about that dream, Sage. And I'm just wondering, is the world ready for the dream that I had last night? Does the world want to hear about the dream that I had last night? It was a very weird dream. This is why I take 1/6 or 1/8 of a melatonin tablet every night, It makes my dreams extremely fucking awesome. So here's how it goes. I was bullying. All right, we'll get to it. So in my dream, the Packers picked up Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts was going to be staying with me. And I was hanging out with Jalen Hurts. And I was kind of like, I was just there with Jalen Hurts. Maybe as like a father figure. I'm not really sure. But anyways, I'm picking his brain. I'm like, all right, did we have, like, don't tell me who we had to give up to get you. Was it very much? He says, no, it was not. I was like, all right, cool. That's cool. That's a good start. Did we have to give up Jordan Love? And he's like, no, we did not. And I'm like, all right, so if we didn't have to give up Jordan Love, why the fuck are you here? And apparently we wanted him for short yardage plays, the tush push. We just wanted him for a bit of mobility and that sort of thing. And basically, he's doing his ESPN thing, and I've also got a microphone in my hand, and I'm just talking shit to him because he's going to be staying at my fucking place. And I'm like, okay, Jalen Hurts, all your fucking Michael Jordan shoes, I'm going to burn those sons of bitches to the ground. And, I was getting a good pop. I was getting a good pop from the crowd. The crowd was loving me. And, I did make sure to tell them to subscribe and to hit the like button for the Thundercloud, which I'm telling all you right now. Same with Indie Game Cloud. It was just, it was a very organic dream, and it was just kind of beautiful that I could coincide with Jalen Hurts in the dream. I was definitely the alpha male, though, for sure, in that dream. Definitely the alpha male. Definitely he knew to stand his ground and just, like, bow his head to the fucking master, so to speak, if you know what I'm saying. So that was my Jalen Hurts dream that took place, 12 to 16 to 24 hours ago. I'm not sure when it took place. But I think it was a hell of a dream, and I think it's potentially the best sports dream that I've ever had, if I'm being honest with you. Making him my bitch, embarrassing him in the media, and you know what? If I ever am in a position where Jalen Hurts needs to stay with me, I will burn those fucking Michael Jordan shoes to the ground. I'm just saying it right now. All right, I think we have covered everything, including a little bit of Sigmund Freud. I think that dream means something. That dream means something. That, like, I don't even show him respect in my fucking dreams. In my wildest dreams, I don't even show this motherfucker respect because he's a garbage quarterback. I understood the move in the dream, though. Bring him in for some goal line shit. That made sense. Having him pass the ball, though, that didn't make sense. And I did call that out in the dream. It's like, you're not that good a passer, What did we give up for you? And I think it was a 4th or a 5th or a 6th or something. So it was a pretty good trade by Brian Gutekunst in the trade, in the dream as well there. So I'll give Brian a big shout out there for that trade. All right, till next time, we are out of here. And, don't bring your fucking Michael Jordan shoes near me or I'll burn them to the ground, too. Have a good night, guys.